Welcome everyone. My name is Nuwan De Alwis and this is my social English conversation part in my practical spoken English course. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to make some formal conversation with the people in your life. Here, before we start the conversation, I would like you to meet some three people. One is gentleman who is called Professor Austin. Other one who is called Emma. Other person I can introduce as James. James is Emma's boyfriend. Then in this conversation, James wants to meet the Professor Austin for something to get done. That you can see in the dialogue conversation, but before that I want you to show how James is going to enter the conversation with Professor Austin. James says to Professor Austin, "Good morning, Professor Austin. How are you doing?" "Good morning, Professor Austin. How are you doing?" Here you can hear something. How are you doing? What is the how are you doing? When some people ask you as how are you doing, what you can say? Number one, how are you doing? Also, you can use the same thing as how are you? When somebody uses as how are you, then you know your answer you can give them as a I am fine. Also, when somebody uses as how are you doing, then you can reply as a I am doing well. I am doing doing well. Here the person asks as a how are you doing, actually he focuses your business, your family life, sometimes your education. Then if you are okay with your education, or if you are okay with your business, or whatever things you do, then you can say I am doing well. Then your answer should be I am doing well. Then normally when somebody uses as a how are you, then it's just enough. You can say I am fine, no, I am okay, because he wants to know something about your life. That is a general thing. But how are you doing, normally people are used to focus your uh, job, sometimes business, or your education. Then if you are not happy about with your job or education or something, that also you can get as a point to say that. Then as an example, I can say, when your boss comes up to you and asks as how are you doing, then you can get something like this way as a point to say about your the problems in your job. But if you don't have something like this, then you can use this way as I'm doing well. Also, you have to keep in your mind when somebody asks you as how are you doing, then you can give answer as I'm doing well. After that, definitely you must ask something, that is and you. And you. And you mean again you don't want to ask that person as a how are you doing? When you ask as and you, then he knows that you ask about his life. Then when Mr. Uh, in this conversation, you can say Mr. Professor Austin uh, says to this child, that is James, as I'm doing well, and you. After that, James says to the professor, I'm great, thank you. It's same when somebody in your life asks you as a and you, then your reply or your answer should be like this: I am great, thank you. Then after that, he introduced his girlfriend to professor. He says it is like this. This is my friend Emma. She is thinking about applying to this college. After that, he says she has a few questions. Would you mind telling us about the process, please? Then in this sentence, I want you to show something. He says, this is my friend Emma. She is thinking about applying to this college. Then we can use she thinks. Also, she is thinking. Then what is the difference between now she thinks and she is thinking? He says she is thinking about applying to this college. She is thinking. Then here I am going to teach you the difference between of she is thinking and she thinks. Normally, she thinks mean simple present tense. She is thinking mean present continuous tense. Where we use simple present tense, where we use present continuous tense. Normally, we use simple present tense like these she thinks for the regular thing, permanent things, the usually as a habit, what we do, and something like this. Okay, then I can say your parents think about you. That is, I can use in the simple present tense because as a regular thing. Also, I can say your husband thinks about you because that is a regular thing. Then husband loves you. That's why we can use in the simple present tense as a your husband thinks about you. But here we can see she is thinking about how to apply into this college. She is thinking. She is thinking mean she is thinking is not the simple present tense. That is present continuous tense. Present continuous tense normally we use things what we are doing now. Also temporary thing. Also some significant thing. Now these days she has some problem. Okay, what is the problem she has? She has some problem as how to apply to this college. Then he can say as she is thinking about applying to this college. Take it easy because he can't use as she thinks because it's a regular thing. Then she is thinking mean normally temporary thing, also significant thing she has in her mind. That's why we use as a she is thinking. Okay, somehow then after that he says she has a few questions. What do you think about this? She has a few questions. She has a few questions mean we use for a one thing. For the example, I can say something. If I have many questions, how I can say? Then I can say I have. I have questions, but if I have one question, then how I'm going to say that? Then I can say it like I have a question, because we use a for a one question as a that is singular. This is plural. For the plural case, we don't use as a. Then you know, if there is a vowel letter, then we had used an. You know, something called A, E, I, O, U. We can use as an apple, an orange. Also, we can use a if there is no any vowel letters in front of the. Okay, I hope that clear to you. But this is not the thing I want you to teach. I want you to teach something. I have a question we can use. This is correct. Also, I can use as I have questions. But can we say like this? I have a few questions. If I use I have a questions, that is wrong. I have a questions mean this is wrong. Then if I have a lot of questions, I can use it like I have questions. That's a plural. Then if I have one question in the singular way, I can use I have a question. Then I can't use I have a questions. I have a questions. This is wrong. But what do you think about I have a few questions? I have a few questions mean my all the questions are for a one matter. For the example, I can say I have few questions. I have a few questions. I have a few questions mean I have all the question for a one case. For the example, I can say in your office you work as an accountant, so you have some questions about access internet or something. Then you can meet your IT profession in your company and you can say something to him because you have a lot of questions about access the internet. You don't know the way you access the internet. Also, you don't know the path to access the internet. Also, sometimes you don't know how to download something. Then you have some lot of questions. But all the questions you have for a single case, that is access internet. Then you can say to your IT officer as I have a few questions about access the internet. That is how James says to Professor Einstein as she is a singular, then we can use has, she has a few questions because she has all the question for a one matter, that is how to apply to this college. That's how this boy who is called James says to Professor Einstein, she has a few questions about applying to this college. Okay, then I want to say something. After that, Professor Einstein says to Emma, his girlfriend, as a hello Emma, it's pleasure to meet you. After that, Professor says to this girl, Emma, as I am more than happy to speak to you. Then I want you to show something. What is the speak? What is the speak and what is the talk? Speak causes talk. You have two people in your life. One is formal, other one is informal. Formal, informal people you have in your life, then you can use formal words for a formal people and informal words for a informal people in your life. Then you can look at my whiteboard. Speak mean formal word. F-O-R-M-A-L. Then talk mean informal word. Then you know the relationship between professor and this girl Emma, that is informal one. Then the professor and this girl Emma, this is a formal one. This is a formal one because professor is a formal person to the student who is called Emma. Then I can say something. He says to this Emma, that means this girl, as hello Emma, it's pleasure to meet you. And after that he says, I'm more than happy to speak with you. Why he use speak? That is relationship is a formal. Formal relationship he has with this girl. That's why he uses as I'm more than happy to speak with you. Then after that you can see something Emma says to professor. It is pleasure to meet you, professor. Thank you so much for helping us. This is very important thing. Thank you so much for helping us or helping me. Thank you so much for helping us. I hope you can see the board. Then she says to professor as thank you so much for helping us. Thank you so much for helping us. Here you can see FOR4. After the 4, definitely verb should be followed as in ing format. That is coming, going, running. We call this as a present participle verbs. Then help we can't use for this case. We can use thank you so much for helping us. When somebody help you in your life, then you can reply as thank you so much for helping us or helping me. But if you want to thank you for his help, then you can use as thank you so much for your help. This is how we can make the conversation with the formal people. Then after that you can see the professor Austin says to Emma as don't mention it. Hopefully I'll be able to answer your questions because she has some lot of questions about how to apply to this college. Then Professor Austin says as a don't mention it when she says as a thank you so much for helping us. Then what is the don't mention it? Don't mention it mean that's an informal way to say well you are welcome. For the example, just think if you are a bank, then your customer, one of your customers comes up to you and asks something. After that, as you are a banker, you gave information what he wanted to know. Then after that, he says as sir or madam, thank you so much for helping me. Then after that, you can use as you are welcome. You don't say this like this, they don't mention it. Because don't mention it is a very informal one. You are welcome is more formal one. For the example, I can say when you talk with something with your friends, you can say Machan, don't mention it. No problem. Happy to help you. These are the things you can use in your informal life with the informal people. As example, I can say your friends, your sisters, brothers, and something like this people in your life. But in your formal life, especially your customers, you can use when they say as something thank you, then you can say you are welcome. Okay, that is how formal conversation uh, should be happen. I hope this lesson is very clear to you. Then I will come with new lesson. I hope you enjoy this lesson well. Until that, you have to practice this and apply to your life. I will come with new lesson. Thank you for clicking my video. Thank you.